Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at one of my special filming spot locations because guess what? My very good friend Robert, who is also a huge fan of Rady's Rides, picked himself up yet another new car. Now we've already featured his Elantra and his GR Corolla. Well, guess what? He got rid of the GR Corolla and he decided to get himself this. What the heck is it? It's a 2024 Acura Integra Type S with the bronze wheels. But before we get into this kind of performance renaissance of an Acura, let's talk about what's going on here. So Robert, being a performance enthusiast, needs his car to be daily driver friendly. Now, he had the Elantra and he enjoyed it for a while. He did the GR Corolla thing. He was on the fence of getting a new WRX TR, which we just reviewed. And if you haven't seen that review, we'll leave it at the end of this one. But he decided to go back to his roots. He's always been a fan of the Integra and could not resist when they brought back the Type S. Now, of course, the Integra name has been around since 1986. If you look at Subaru and the WRX, basically that Impreza WRX has been around since 1994. And even though the new WRX does not have the Impreza name on it, it's still in the same class as this car, a compact sport performance vehicle. So what I want to find out is, did Robert make the right choice going with the Integra Type S, or should he have gone for the WRX TR? Let's go ahead, let's dive into his new Integra Type S and find out. Right off the bat, the color. It may not be that championship white like on my Type R, but boy oh boy, this pearlescent white really pops like a diamond in the sun, and with those copper wheels, just has a nice proper balance to it. Now at the front of the business, you're still gonna get full LED technology. So you have your LED daytime running lamp, which is the chicane daytime running lamp, multi-jewel LED headlights, and then of course your turn signals, which are all built into the same housing. Now, if you compare this to the WRX also has full LED lighting, but it does have adaptive headlights. So that means it's got the headlights that when you move the steering wheel, the lighting also moves with the wheel. Give you a little bit better illumination around corners at night. This car does not have that feature. Now, working our way down, we have full functionality. So of course you're gonna have the airflow for all the aerodynamics and the brake cooling. You do have your functional corner vents, and I like the way that they did the splitter on the corners all built in to the surround for the grille opening. Now, if you look at the TR got a big zonk. The WRX TR got a big zonk for me because they have non-functional vents, but what the Subaru does have are those classic round style rally LED fog lamps. No fog lamps on the Integra Type S, but you do have the fully functional vents. Let me know in the comment section, what do you like better? Functional vents, or do you like fog lamps? Let me know in that comment section. Now, as we come across that front grille, I love the precision crafted performance grille with that Acura badge. Of course, we have the Type S badge there, and it's not just about the badge because we have more performance underneath the hood. This grille flows 30% more air than your standard Integra grille. That's how they were able to open up all of the sections. On the bottom portion, we have more functionality with that intercooler peeking from behind. And remember, both vehicles, the WRX TR and this Integra Type S, have turbocharged engines, and they're both 4 cylinders. But that's really the only similarity. We'll talk more when we pop the hood about the major differences. Now, as we rise up, you don't have a hood scoop. What you do have is a functional heat extractor. Love the nice size, gloss black, and I like the way that they kind of brought it into the hood and gave you a little bit of a bulge. Now, on the WRX TR, you are gonna have that classic Subaru Rally hood scoop because it has a top mount intercooler, not a front mount intercooler like this Integra Type S. Now, coming around the bend, Robert decided to go optional wheels. These are a dealer installed option beautiful copper shade, multi-spoke design. You're gonna have 2-piece rotors that are 13.7 inches in diameter, and you have 4-piston Brembo calipers, and we do have those Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. Limited slip diff, and this is front-wheel drive, 1 transmission only, 6-speed manual. Let's talk about the Subaru WRX TR. It also has a 19-inch wheel. The sad news is you can't get the bronze wheels anymore on a WRX. It's a shame. Those gold wheels were such an iconic color shade with the World Rally Blue and the gold wheels. I do like the way you could get the copper wheels on the Integra. On the WRX TR, you do get 6-piston Brembo calipers, and you do get Brembos out back as well. This car only has Brembos on the front, and they're 4-piston caliper. The rotors are not 2-piece on the WRX TR, but they are cross-drilled. So it's interesting to see what has the better heat ability to get rid of that heat. Is it better to have the 2-piece, or is it better to have the 1-piece but they're cross-drilled? Obviously, we would need to take it to a track day to find that out. But of course, the WRX does have Subaru's all-time all-wheel drive, whereas this is front-wheel drive. Tires up front, 265 on the width, and a 30 series sidewall. Now coming down the side, you do have another Type S badge. What's nice is that if you swing it around, you have that wonderful fender flare. And this is what gives such a great look. You'll see that Robert added those mud flaps behind the front tires. And you'll see that on the rears, they actually blend in a lot better than the ones up front. You know, it's one of those things, he wants to protect this beautiful paint job, and a mud flap is a good way to go. And I like the way it's a nice solid piece rather than an actual flap, like a rubber flap. But with the fender flares built in to the actual fender up front, they look fantastic, something that the WRX TR should have. Now, mirror caps, you do have color match mirror caps, LED turn signals. On both cars, you do not have a sunroof. So on this car, you don't have a sunroof. On the WRX TR, you don't have a sunroof. I do like the side skirt extension. And then of course, to match the flares up front, we do have the stick-on flare for the rear. Now, it isn't stick-on in the rear fender. It's just up top here and up the front. But I wanted to point out, you don't get the Brembos on the rear. On the WRX TR, you are getting 4-piston Brembos on the rear. This you do not. Now, coming around the back, you can see the addition of how nicely that rear mud flap blends into the rest of the bodywork. I do like the gloss black spoiler, but I'm trying to get Robert to change this out and get the carbon fiber rear spoiler. Now, on the WRX TR, you get a color match spoiler, but it's very low, even lower than what you see on this hatchback style of the Integra Type S. Still love the way that they stamp the name on the rear bumper and the front bumper. Of course, we got to have one more Type S badge. Something to think about, because on the WRX TR, if you're the kind of person that likes to have a badge to let somebody know that you have something unique, you don't get a TR badge. Working our way down, the rear diffuser area is phenomenal. Gloss black with the stock triple exhaust, all the same size, unlike the Type R. And I think that's another thing that really does it for me on the Integra, is I love the back of it compared to all of that cladding, not only around the fenders, but also along the rear of the vehicle on the WRX TR. But why don't we go ahead, let's pop the hood and talk horsepower of this Integra Type S. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod on the WRX TR. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood, I do like on the Type S how it gets a specific engine cover with the dark red, some faux carbon fiber going on. You got the Type S name there. What do we have for power? So you're looking at a 2-liter inline-4 turbocharged engine pumping out 320 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque, mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. If you know how to do the dance on your twinkle toes, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, quarter mile in 13.6 seconds at 106 miles per hour, and the top speed is 167 miles per hour. The vehicle weighs 3,212 pounds, MPGs 21 in the city, 28 on the highway. Now let's talk about the WRX. The WRX uses a 2.4 liter turbocharged engine. It's a flat 4, putting out 277 horsepower, made it to a 6-speed manual transmission, 0 to 60 in about 5.2 seconds, top speed around 155 miles an hour. So interesting how this has more horsepower, but remember, you only have front-wheel drive. Of course, it weighs a little bit less. It weighs about 250 pounds less than the Subaru WRX TR. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire this thing up and hear if it sounds better than the WRX TR. All right, guys, we are inside Robert's brand new 2024 Acura Integra Type S. Now, I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, damn, I'm jealous of Robert. He's been able to own an Elantra, and he's been able to own a GR Corolla Circuit Edition. Now he's got this Type S, and he was thinking about maybe a Subaru WRX TR. I like Robert's taste, but I am jelly of him. I am very jelly. Now, I know you're probably saying to yourself, well, Joe, I'm kind of in Robert's same shoes. I'm looking at an Integra Type S, but I'm also looking at the WRX TR. I know how much the WRX TR is, but how much is this vehicle? It's a tough decision. Let me lay out the facts for everybody. So a 2024 Subaru WRX TR has an MSRP of $42,000. This vehicle, the way that it's optioned, 2024 Acura Integra Type S, has an MSRP of almost $52,000. So we're looking at pretty much a $10,000 difference between the WRX TR and this Integra Type S. Is it worth the additional 10 G's? To the door panels. I do love all the materials. Soft touch. Look at the ELS Studio 3D sound system, aluminum speaker grill cover, and real trim. It's real aluminum trim. I do like the way there's no gloss black around the switchgear, red stitching, and the door pocket is a pretty good size. You could get 2 chalupas and a nice Pepsi to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, it's got that fingertip, or should I say fingerprint, not fingertip, but fingerprint resistant material. And I do like the little wire mesh on these vents here. Soft touch up top. You are going to get a standard 9-inch infotainment system. My big zonk is it's not color. I want more information like the Type R has. If you look at the WRX, you're getting 11.6-inch portrait style, and it's integrated into the actual dash. More of those great looking AC vents, aluminum start-stop button. You do have 3 stages of heated seats. You get heated seats in the WRX TR as well. No ventilated for either. I do like the switchgear, real knobs, whereas on the WRX TR, you got to do it through the screen. USB-A, USB-C, 12 volt, and I highly recommend running a radar detector. Like if you look, Robert is smart, he's running a Valentine 1 radar detector. Highly recommend if you're going to have a car like this. We do have our wireless charging, and then this is where the magic happens. Love the way they have the metal finish with your gear pattern. You do have some leather with some red stitching. Nice short throws in the 6-speed manual transmission. This gearbox is better than the one in the WRX TR. I'll be honest. I like the Alcantara shift boot with the red stitching. Just a little bit of gloss black. 2 cup holders, soft touch material. Open it up. You got enough room. He's got a bag of Big League Chew in there and a bunch of receipts. He likes to save his receipts. He saves his receipts because you never know when you might need to return something. That's his policy in life. Save your receipts. Especially if you get married and you don't have the receipt, you don't have the marriage certificate, you can't return her. So, just something to think about. The seats, the leather, the Type S badge embossed. Love the Alcantara micro suede material. Nice, decent bolstering. Manual adjustments for the passenger seat. I have electric adjustment and there's no sunroof. But let's talk about how this compares to the TR before I have you come over to my side, the business side. The WRX TR has a manual passenger seat as well, but you're getting Recaro seats for both the passenger and the driver. To me, they're a better seat than what these seats are. I'm just telling the truth. And remember, on the WRX TR, you don't get a sunroof, which I'm okay with because it cuts weight and it also makes a more rigid chassis. But why don't you come over here to the business end so we can compare this Type S to the TR. All right, guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have your Type S sill plate looking good. No sill plate on the WRX TR. Pedal box, it really is quite phenomenal. Nice aluminum clutch, brake, and throttle. The one zonk is you don't get an aluminum dead pedal, whereas in the WRX TR, you do. And I do like the pedal arrangement actually better in the WRX TR for heel-toe downshifting than this Acura, but it still is very good. And one thing to remember is you do have that automatic rev match downshift feature in this Type S, whereas the Subaru does not have that. We have the Type S all-weather floor mats, that's worth an extra 5 horsepower. You got your power seat controls, just like the TR, Subaru WRX TR. It's just these seats are way more comfortable for daily driving, whereas the Recaros in the WRX TR are really magical to hold you in place. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel very good in both of them. You are going to get a little bit more space in the Subaru, but I'm okay with what I have in here, trust me. Steering wheel feels like it's right out of an NSX. Love the perforated leather, the smooth leather. The leather quality is better in this Integra compared to the Subaru. Flat black on the switchgear. You do have a manual tilting and telescoping steering wheel. And then you have a basic digital 10.25-inch digital gauge cluster. On the WRX TR, you have analog gauges still. And I kind of prefer the analog gauges, but that's just me. You do get a head-up display in here, whereas the Subaru, you do not. But let's get into the back seat and see who's gonna win when it comes to rear passenger room. All right, guys, in the back seat area, this is a place where really both vehicles succeed in bringing a lot of room. And I can appreciate the room I have in here. I also appreciate the room that I have in the WRX TR. Now, the backs of the seats, on the driver's side, there's no pocket. The Subaru has pockets on both. And then check this out. This is a disgrace. This is the biggest zonk of them all. No connectivity and no AC vents. So you do have connectivity in the Subaru WRX TR, but here you have nothing. I do have a large pocket. This is where I'm going to keep some Subaru brochures for the WRX. In case I'm cross-shopping, like maybe you are. You do have the cup holders in the center. You can fit 3 across in the Subaru, in the WRX, and here you can't. Just 2 passengers. No center armrest. But you do get a center armrest in the WRX, and no red seat belts. You do get those in the WRX TR. Just saying. That's an extra 5 horsepower that you're missing out on by getting these black standard seatbelts. But why don't we go ahead, let's get into the cargo area and see who's the winner when it comes to cargo space. All right, guys, cargo area time now. The WRX TR has a lot of cargo room, even though it has a regular trunk. This is a hatchback, but let's see what the Integra Type S brings to the table. There he is, the trunk monkey hanging on by a hair, because we're going to be going on throttle and he's going to be swinging around doing his thing back here. But look at all the space. This is what makes this vehicle so awesome, is even with the back seat up, you have so much room. How much room is that? You're basically looking at 24 cubic feet of space. The seats do the 60-40 split to fold down, and you do have the ELS Studio 3D subwoofer out back, whereas with the Subaru WRX, we have the Harman Kardon system, and let's just be honest, that system does not sound as good as this ELS Studio 3D, but hopefully, Trunk Monkey, I gave him a little bit of a low 5. I can't give him a high 5, his hand is kind of stuck, but hopefully the Trunk Monkey is ready. Hopefully you guys are ready too. Let's go ahead, let's swing from the trees. Let's swing for the stands and go on throttle in Robert's Integra Type S. All right, guys, we are in Robert's 2024 Acura Integra Type S. What I love about this car is just how it drives and this slick, shifting 6-speed manual. Look at this, nice downshifts, good brakes. On throttle, here we go. I'm telling you, that limited slip diff really helps get the power to the ground, even with it being a front-wheel drive car. You know, we did a test, a review actually, with a GR Corolla press fleet vehicle, Robert's old GR Corolla and a press fleet vehicle of one of these, and it's crazy just how much faster the engine revs up in this Integra Type S because you're only driving the front wheels, and it's got a lighter flywheel. They really worked on that kind of stuff. But comparing this to the WRX TR, it's kind of not really a great comparison. The reason why is that the engine in the WRX TR, it's basically the same power plant that's in the Outback, that's in the Legacy. It's really not a performance-based engine. And yeah, they squeezed out a few more horsepower, but it just doesn't rev very quickly. The 6-speed is good, but once you drive this 6-speed, you're like, maybe it wasn't as good as I thought it was. But I guess if you really need, obviously, the all-wheel drive, then your decision's kind of made for you. You are getting some pumped-in sound into the cabin, which it sounds okay, but it is pumped in. I mean, it's not the actual sound, but I do like the real pops and bangs that you get coming from the exhaust, because remember, they deleted one of the resonators off the exhaust system compared to the Type R, and it helps give a little bit more sound out of the exhaust and some of those pops and bangs, which just invigorates the driving experience. Visibility out the front is fantastic, out the back even better, and that's one of the things that with the WRX TR, it just doesn't feel really special. This car feels special when you're behind the wheel, and that's one of the things that I could appreciate about it. I do have it in Sport Plus mode. In the WRX TR, there are no modes, so there's just one mode. You start the car up and you go. But let's go on throttle from a slow roll here. On throttle, here we go. Nice. No torque steer into this right-hand bend. Woohoo! Yeah! It does a hell of a job for getting the power to the ground. With that limited slip diff, does a hell of a job, and it's nice and balanced. The steering has great feedback. WRX TR is good. This is just better. I mean, that's what it comes down to. But remember, let's be real here. At the end of the day, there is a $10,000 price difference. Could you possibly take some of the thousands of dollars that you're saving in the Subaru and put it into things like the performance side? Maybe change out the exhaust, maybe get it tuned, intake, those kinds of things, and still have money saved in the bank, but yet elevate the driving experience over this Type S. It is possible. But I'm telling you, the way that it drives, it's so much fun. Look at this. Ah, here we go. On throttle. Really does get the power to the ground pretty darn good for a front-wheel drive car. No torque steer, so don't worry about that. I love the automatic rev match downshifting. There's some pops. Nice, here we go. Here we go.
Please say again.
Whoa, what was that? Nice, holds a line so nicely. Look at this. Woo-hoo-hoo! Love it, absolutely love it. And then you got those quality Brembo brakes. that slow you down so very nicely. Now, what had happened was, what that weird voice was, it's not the voice in my head. My hand accidentally hit the button on the steering wheel. So I guess, you know, if you're gonna gripe about something, zonk the buttons on the wheel, but that was just because of where I placed my hand. Not a big deal, no harm, no foul. It just kind of bothered me for a second there. But other than that, it really does handle well. Seats are definitely gonna be more comfortable for daily driving compared to the WRX TR. I personally like the Recaros in the WRX TR, but I know a lot of people just do not like the seat material. Obviously, here in Florida, we have people that don't understand when they can go, when they don't have to go. It's another day in the life of Rady's Rides here. But we keep rolling, the show must go on. You ready? On throttle, third gear. On the brakes. The 6-speed is a hot knife through butter. Look at this. Look at the grip. Look at the grip. Woo-hoo! Way to go, Robert. Look at nice balanced. She's like a puma. She's like a puma ready to pounce. Arr! That's what I like about being behind the wheel of this Integra Type S. And then you got full dailability. I mean, drivability, daily driver, tons of room, passenger room. You got the ELS Studio 3D sound system. It's just let me know. Let me know what you think. Is it worth the extra 10 grand? $10,000. Think about what you could do with $10,000. You could take a trip. You could buy a hot tub. You could buy a sauna. You could buy a home gym. You could buy the Gundam collection that you wanted for years. All of the different dolls, action figures, all prominently displayed in your house. You could do all of that. Or you could have this Integra Type S. But anyways, I hope that you've enjoyed this nice, fun, on-throttle scoot in Robert's Acura Integra Type S. I know he wants it back. I could keep this and just take it home. I know Steven could as well. But we got to give it back to Robert. We're going to get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a nanosecond. It's been another slick shifting, on-throttle kind of day here on Rady's Rides. I definitely got to thank Robert, not only for his friendship, but also for allowing us to feature his babies on Rady's Rides, along with the trunk monkey out back, to go on throttle and let you see exactly what this car is all about. Let me know what you think. Are you gonna spend a little bit more to possibly get more by going Integra Type S? Or are you gonna go ahead and watch the bottom line and go all-wheel drive with the Subaru WRX TR? Let me know down in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. We need to give it up to the man. He's had his Hondas, he's had his Subarus, he's done all-wheel drive, he's done front-wheel drive, and obviously he knows how to drive a manual. That's one of the only reasons why I let him hang out with me. Show Stephen Flood some love in the comment section. Check out his Instagram, sfloodphoto. He takes pictures and he posts them. That's why he does Instagram. But thank you, Stephen, for your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.